to worry about. So when I was getting this urgency, it was like this pressure pressing down on me to like, you need to get life insurance, you need to get life insurance. I was like, why do I need to get life insurance? And it kind of freaked me out because I was thinking, okay, this must be like a precursor to some unfortunate, unforeseen event, like my husband's gonna die, or I'm gonna die, or like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? So with that kind of mind state, I was thinking, okay, so I've always been approached by other insurance companies to come over and learn more about the business and to join as a representative. And I've sat down and held many presentations with AIG and State Farm and Farmers and a few other companies. But I never really went further than just learning about the business. So I told myself, since I have this urge, this need to get life insurance, so the next company that's going to reach out to me, I'm just going to go and do it. I'm just going to learn about the business and I'm going to get the insurance because I got to get this insurance. So the first company that reached out to me, I'm not going to say any names, but they reached out to me and I was like, all right, I'm going to go. I'm going to do it. So I joined the company and I went to get my first ever life insurance policy. But for some reason, everything seemed to fall through the cracks. And I was like, why, why am I fumbling around this policy? We couldn't schedule time to get the medical exam done. And my husband was taking off work, but then somehow the ball just kept dropping. And there was something that was settled over me, like, this isn't it. This isn't it. And I was like, what do you mean this isn't it? Like, where else am I supposed to go? So I was like, okay, maybe this isn't it. It's the end of the year. We're talking about Christmas time, holiday season. And so it's like, okay, pulled in different priorities. We got to do this. We got to do that. The end of the year wraps up. Here it is, January. And I'm like, man, we still got to find some, some life insurance. So then, we're still moving through the year. March rolls around, COVID strikes. And it was like, oh my goodness, so now we got this big old pandemic going around. We can't go nowhere. We can't do anything. And then my son gets these feelings in his joints and he's in pain and he's crying and we're not understanding what's happening. We're thinking maybe it's arthritis or something. My son's joints became so disfigured he couldn't walk, he couldn't stretch his arms out. It was heartbreaking. So we were able to schedule an appointment with this telemedical doctor that was seeing him because earlier in the year he had fell from the monkey bars and hit his head and he had a concussion going on for a while. So when she interviewed Demarion over the iPad, she said to me, Mrs. Hawkins, this is not arthritis. Sorry to tell you, but this looks like bone tumors. And I immediately fell back in my chair. I was like, tumors? Cancer? I was like, oh no. So she immediately coordinated his care and she got him to the local hospital. And when he went into emergency, the attending in the emergency department told my husband that it looks like leukemia. So I immediately just thought to myself, oh my God, my son is going to die. So now it's like, now I know exactly why there was this urgency to get this insurance. Because I didn't know if it was like, a business opportunity that we were looking at, or if it was a need for my family to have. But now it became crystal clear what was supposed to happen. The unfortunate part was, it seems like the discovery came a little bit too late because as we know, with life insurance, being covered with a terminal illness is very unlikely. So here we are, May 2020. My son has leukemia and we're facing life or death. And this just kind of overshadowed everything that we could have ever imagined for our family because we didn't know where to go. We didn't know what to do, and it was hard trying to think. I'm always a forward thinker, but it was like my brain completely shut down. So like, oh, survival mode. Like, what do we do? What? First of all, what is leukemia? And then what is life insurance? And how far is this going to take us? So I was like, okay, let's just start interviewing companies and seeing where we can go, who can do what they can do for us now with this information. I got advice from other people. Don't tell them, don't tell them. And I'm like, I'm not going to not tell them. I'm going to be honest. And so I sat down one day by my son's bedside in the hospital. And I was like, God, make a way, open a door, show me who will do this for my family. So I I prayed and I went to my computer and I did some research. And I came across one company and they were willing to give him the insurable insurance, but it came at a price where we had to jump through a couple of hoops. I had to get insurance, and then he had to get insurance. He had to be denied for the insurance. And then once he was denied for the insurance, we had to wait 90 days. And we didn't know if we had 90 days. So I said, well, it looks like this might be the best that we have. So what I did was I went ahead and I signed up with that company. And even with that company, it's still a waiting period. I'm just a membership with, I'm a member with them, but we're still waiting to see if they can even do something for tomorrow. So while we're waiting, going back and forth to doctor's appointments, one day in an Uber ride, we met Miss Stephanie Boone. And so Miss Stephanie Boone was saying, oh, have you considered this? Have you considered that? And I was like, yeah, I have. But nothing's really working out. So she said, you know what? How about you just sit through a presentation? Give me a number. Sit through a presentation, learn more about the company, and let's just give it a try. But okay. While it took me a couple of weeks to get through the presentation, but during that time, I had also met another agent from a different insurance company. She asked me to sit down with her as well. So I had two companies that I'm juggling. Like, okay, let's see what's going to happen. Because bottom line is, I need this boy insured. So the other company was like, oh, yeah, we only really focus on term. And yeah, we can't insure your son. So you might just want to stay where you're at. Really? Okay. So I'm down and I'm out and I'm thinking there's nothing I could do for my son. I felt like a failure because something was telling me to do this before I got this diagnosis, but I didn't know what it meant. I tried, but I didn't know what it meant. So Stephanie, I was like, all right, let me go to this WFG presentation. I'm down, but I'm not out. This is for my son. I will do what I need to do. So I sat down, through the WFG presentation. Oh, this is good. This is good. And I noticed that you guys have a lot of partners. This is great. This is good. Okay. This is wonderful. So after I finished the presentation, Stephanie reached out to me and she's like, I think there might be something that we can do. Let me get you in touch with our Jessica, our agent. I said, oh, okay. I'm down. I'll listen. So sit down with Jessica. Jessica's like, oh yeah, we can do this. And I was like, what? We can insure your son. I was like, no. We could put him on a rider policy. Yeah, we could possibly, not have to worry about, certain people looking into the policy because I know that his coverage could also comes at a cost with certain benefits that we're also looking for him. But she was able to find a policy to cover my son when no one was willing to cover my son. They didn't have the resources. This was something literally an impossible thing made possible. And I'm so incredibly grateful for Miss Stephanie Boone and the opportunity that she has afforded us in this area because we couldn't, literally our hands were tied, completely tied, and we were hopeless. But now we are hopeful in a place where there were no possibilities. All things are now possible. So that's a little bit about myself and my journey. I want to introduce you guys over to Miss Stephanie Boone. This is a powerful woman of God. She's a wife, a mother of 7, a grandmother of 8, and an entrepreneur. She has 3 years in the business and on a mission to help as many families as possible through financial education. And if it wasn't for Miss Stephanie Boone, I don't even know where we would be right now. So join me in welcoming Miss Stephanie Boone.
Thank you so much, Chante. Oh, thank you so much. Wasn't that a powerful testimony? I mean, it's awesome. Well, guys, good afternoon. My name is Stephanie Boone, and I want to welcome each and every one of you to the virtual webinar of WFG. WFG stands for World Financial Group. We are in alliance with over 75% of Fortune 500 institutions, banks, and insurance companies. We have surpassed giant companies, some you might have heard of, like Charles Schwab, Smith Barney. Well, today we have been recognized as being in the 1% of over 8,000 broker-dealers in the nation. Now, you're about to hear an incredible story about a well-established company with over $543 billion in assets. And in the process of revolutionizing the entire financial industry with a mission of no families left behind. We have completely rewrote the books on how financial products are being distributed, not only in this great country, but around the world. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you two individuals. One is our awesome SMD, Josh Polacek. He has over 18 years of financial service experience. His first 10 years, he worked at Wells Fargo Bank as being the youngest, fastest growing executive in that company, making the bank millions of dollars. He was also asked to train others too to do the same thing, to be profitable for the bank. But Josh wanted to do something else that was more meaningful and can impact the lives of many people. So when he was introduced to this company 7.5 years ago, maybe 8, he just saw the mission. He just saw the powerful mission, and he wanted to educate people through financial education and financial literacy. He is the most sought out trainer and speaker in the company. He has helped many to become financially independent. He met his wife, Kathleen, in this company. They have 3 beautiful children, and together they're on a mission to really change the way people look at financial industry. And the second person I want to introduce to you is a single mother of beautiful young ladies. She has over 20 years of financial experience. She worked for a major $1 million production company as a CFO. Someone that she holds dear to her heart came to her and showed her what this company can do for her and her family. And she wanted to do the same thing. She wanted to share the opportunity, share the mission, and to help as many people as possible, families and businesses. She is our senior marketing directors, Kat and Josh Polacek's right-hand person. She's a top trainer in our office. Not only that, she's my friend, and we call her Wonder Woman, Miss Jessica Parazoo.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction, Stephanie. And Chante, what a powerful story that is going to be heard by thousands of people, because there's a reason that we grow through things. There's a reason that things that we go through in life sets us up for greatness, and great things are coming to your family. And I just know it. I feel it in my heart. And I look forward to be a part of that journey with you. My journey with this company starts 7 years ago when an individual actually gave me a call asking for help with some training. And I was so excited, being a stay-at-home mom with 2 little girls and no one to really talk to but those 2 little girls, that I was like, adult time? Of course. How can I help? And then he came to my kitchen table and asked me about some questions that I didn't know how to answer. And it was a simple question. What goals and dreams do you have that cost money? I sat back and I looked at my 2 kids and realized I stopped dreaming. Those are their 2 beautiful faces. My youngest was 6 weeks old, and I realized that their mom stopped dreaming, and that was not okay. I needed to start dreaming. I needed to find a way to make more income. And my husband made quite a bit of money. He made between $120,000 to $150,000 a year. That is plenty of money in the area that we were living, but he also knew how to spend it. I sat back and said, look, we need to insure our lives, because the most valuable and most important thing in my children's lives were us. And if we were missing, they needed to be taken care of. And we went down the journey of getting life insurance. Of course, my husband was denied, but I love what our company can do, because they literally called him and said, you need to talk to your WFG agent and ask them what options you have. I came into business because I saw something in this company and I was like, you know what? I need to work on me. I need to get goals and dreams, and I want to be able to create something incredible for my children. And fast forward, as a referral partner, I made some money. I did some crazy things and I loved it. But one of the things that I didn't expect, and we never expect, was on July 1st, 2015, I got a phone call from a coroner's office letting me know that my husband passed away. And he wasn't protected. Those goals, those dreams, they shattered. And I didn't know what to do but to get myself up, put some makeup on, do my hair, get to the office. I asked family members to take my children to, because it was 4th of July weekend. I said, they need to have fun. I need to go figure out how to tell my babies. And I sought out our broker, Josh Polacek, and his beautiful wife, Kathleen Polacek, at our office. And I said, well, what do I do? How do I tell them? And Kathleen took me by the hand and said, we go through things so that we can help somebody else through it. And this is my chance to help you. And she's like, I got the personal side. We'll help you tell the babies. We'll help you through all the personal side of things. And then Josh, now let me tell you, incredible leaderships, incredible leaders, mentors, they're going to ask you the toughest questions when those questions need to be asked. And he literally said, Jessica, you're either going to have to go back and be an accountant to provide the lifestyle your children deserve, and you're going to make them orphans because you're going to work the 60, 80-hour weeks plus the commute, and you're never going to see them. Or you come into this business full time, I'll personally mentor you, I'll personally coach you, and you'll never have to look back on this day as the worst day of your life, but the best day of your life. And that's the decision I went with. But I couldn't do that without incredible mentors and leaders that I get to work alongside, an incredible company. On the next slide, we get to show you, who are we? We are World Financial Group, an amazing company that allows us the independent ownership as individuals in a little bit of a bigger company. When I came on board with this firm, I knew I needed to be a part of something that was going to be around for a very, very long time. Our parent companies, Transamerican, Aegon, have been revolutionizing the industry through financial education. They have a rich foundation for changing lives. Transamerica, when San Francisco burnt down to the ground, the owner of the bank rushed in, grabbed all the liquid cash he could get, not for himself, but to rebuild a community. San Francisco stands today because of that rich foundation. But what I also love about this incredible company is, on the next slide, we are not Transamerica sales agents. What we're doing is representing the families like myself and families like yours. I'm sure you recognize a couple of these companies. Transamerica, Nationwide is on our, yeah, that's right. I heard you guys all sing the jingle, right? Nationwide is on our side. And each and every one of these companies are leaders within the industry, but are doing things a little bit different. They're coming on board with our company because we have distribution, but we're really changing the lives of families. And we represent our families to the industry because none of them have a one-size-fit-all option. Just like you heard Chante speak about. most people would have said her family's uninsurable and good luck, see you later, have a nice life. And they would be fine with that. With us, I was like, look, there's got to be an answer. I'm going to call every single company that is on our platform, and we are going to find that answer. And with her family, we helped them with life insurance, but we also have options when it comes to IRAs, college funds, annuities, 529 plans, 403 plans, like so much more, taking a look at the entire financial house. On the next couple of slides, we're going to actually show you what it really looks like to have a complete, you've probably heard of it before, a sound level portfolio. Does your portfolio, your financial portfolio, have protection, guaranteed growth, safety, or tax advantage? When we sit down, we're making sure that all 4 of these cornerstones are in the family's financial plan. And we're going to also look at showing you things like the rule of 72. Simple little mathematical equation. I don't know, I'm an accountant, so I do like math, and I'm not going to expect everyone else to, but we're going to have a little bit of fun. What is the rule of 72? This is how money grows over time. And we're all on here, and I got to roll back the clock just a little bit to 29. We're all 29. We all have 10,000. We're going to go down to the bank. And I'm sure we all can agree that the national average is not giving us 1% on a savings account at the bank. But for math purposes, 1 divided into 72 is 72 years we have to wait for our money to double. Now, even if I roll back the clock and become 29 again, I still don't have enough time for my money to double. Are there other options? What does the bank do with our money? The bank turns around and says, look, we'll give you this guarantee, 1%, but they're going to go shop the market, and they're going to go get more guarantees and reposition your money, and then turn around and say, here's your 20,000 at 101. But if you look at 4%, it's doubling every 18 years. If they reposition your money into something that has 6%, it's doubling every 12 years. What about 10%? Every 7.2 years, that money is doubling. The bank at age 72 is made 640,000, and they still are holding it until we're 101. And they say, thank you for doing business. How would it feel if someone showed you how to reposition your money and get you the same guarantees that the bank's getting? On the next slide, this is how our money grows. We have 3 options here. First is just like that bank account. It's steady and easy. It's growing, but not that much. Our money's not working very hard for us, but at least we know it's there. It's a great option for an emergency fund. The second option is variable. Sure, you guys have been seeing the stock market. It's been going up and down. I don't know if you have money invested. I decided to put a couple hundred, and it gives me a heart attack watching that thing, just like that line. The market's up and the market's down, and we never know what it's going to do. It's okay if we have time for it to go up, right? But are there other options? The third option is index. When our money is growing in the market and the market's up, that's great. When the market goes down, the index option gives us a security lock and locks it in place and waits for the return of the market to go back up. How would you like your money to grow? On the next slide, this is another concept when it comes to the rules of the money game, is the impact of taxes. Now, we all know Uncle Sam. We all share the same uncle. Can't divorce him, can't get rid of him. We'd love to, right? But is there a way to pay only what we need to pay on our taxes? There's 3 ways our money is taxed. We get that paycheck, we're taxed. We put money in our savings account, we get that $10.99 at the end of the year that it grew to $20, and we're being taxed on that, right? There's tax now. And the second column is tax later. Okay, we go to our employers and say, hey, I want to put money towards the future, put it in a 401. They say, great, guess what? You're going to get a little bit, a tax break now, but we're going to put that tax in the amount for the future. So we get taxed later. When are we going to need that money the most? And are we going to be able to afford the taxes? But there's a third option, tax advantage, where we've already paid our taxes on our money, we put it away, it's growing, it's working hard for us. And then at retirement, having the option of tax-free distributions. How would you like to see your money taxed? Again, all three of these options are good, but sitting down with one of our advisors and planners, on the next slide, we take a look at all of those concepts and really map out your financial future. If we were to jump in the car and take a road trip across the country, we're probably going to pull our phones out, we're going to MapQuest it, and we're going to know how to get to our destination, right? Our financial futures are so important. It could be a 10, 20, 30, 40-year destination. We need to know exactly how to get to our goals and our dreams. And this is the way to do this. Our company doesn't own any products, but this is something we offer absolutely complimentary. It's called our financial needs analysis. And we're going to take those financial concepts, we're going to apply it here and really take a look about where your money is coming from, where your money is going. Do you have an emergencies fund saving 3 to 6 months of income? Debt management, this is something I needed 7 years ago, was being able to manage that debt, but consolidating and striving to completely eliminate it. And looking at proper protection, not so much our home or our car, but our lives. And not just that we pass away, but what about we live and we get sick? Chante was talking about it, terminal illness. No one expects that to happen, but what if it does? Long-term care, chronic, critical, and terminal illness riders, having the proper protection to really take care of your future. And then building wealth. This is striving to outpace inflation, reducing those taxes, having the proper money management, and really allowing our money to work hard for us and applying those rules to the money game to our own personal lives. And then lastly, preserving wealth, reducing the taxation and building that family legacy. This financial needs analysis is a written plan personalized to each and every individual we sit down with. I really encourage you guys to reach out to the individual that invited you today to make sure that you get this, because we do it complimentary. And to see where you're at. Maybe it's a review or maybe it's brand new, we don't know. But what I love is building a family legacy. This opportunity has allowed me to do just that, alongside incredible individuals who are serving their communities. And alongside Chante, Stephanie, the Shannons, and others on this call, we are building it together under the mentorship and the coaching of someone who's been doing this for a couple years alongside with his wife. He changed my life 5 years ago when he asked me that tough question, only because he knew he had an incredible opportunity that I would be able to say, Jessica's full-time in the business and going to take control of my financial future. And during a pandemic, having an opportunity to work at home, homeschool my babies, own a home, and do incredible things. And this man, I can owe my future to because of his coaching and mentorship. So at this time, I'm going to pass it over to him to talk about an incredible way to leave a legacy for your family.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much for that introduction. I'm like, how do I say anything after all of these stories. I'm in tears one moment and the next moment, but it's just so powerful. And that's really what our company is made of. Our company is made of just good people doing good things for people. And when I walked through these doors almost 8 years ago, I never had any idea that this would be the impact, that this would be the effect. I worked at a bank called Wells Fargo. I made good money. I started there at a young age. I worked really hard. I worked my way up through the company. I became one of the youngest, fastest growing executives there. I made millions and millions of dollars for them. I liked what I did, but I didn't love what I did. And someone invited me just like you're being invited right now. And I was, actually we'd go in person to a local office. Now most things are done virtually, but had no idea the impact. Just went just to see the company. Didn't really understand what this would look like 6, 7 years later, 8 years later, almost going on 8 years now. Met my wife here, within the company. Prior to this company, my wife was a widow. Her late husband, passed away at a young age. And those two girls that you see there in the picture, the oldest one with glasses is Kaylin. She was 3 years old at the time. And that she's 14 years old now. The younger girl there is Ariel, and she wasn't born. Kat was actually 8 months pregnant at the time. And her husband came home and passed away from a heart complication. And it's unexpected. He was only 28 years old at the time. Had no idea. She was a nurse. Now she's a stay-at-home mom. She is about to give birth, and she has a 3-year-old, and there's no protection in place for the family. So she came to this company because she said, she never wanted to be in a situation ever again where she had the ability. She said, where's maybe I could help people. And someone invited her, and she saw this mission. She said, and I can help people never have to go through what I went through and never have to experience that ever again. I'm so glad someone met her. So I meet her in the office, and we get married, and we have a son named Elijah now. And we come into business together, and we start working together, not knowing how anything would be, but just knowing what it's done for us, what it's done for our families, the difference it's meant for people, how it's helped people. And it was just so incredible. And I don't come from a wealthy family. My dad was a truck driver, and I watched my father work. He worked 37 years of his life. I didn't see my dad at all growing up. He worked 18 to 20 hours a day for 37 years with this dream, with this goal of being able to retire. And he was never able to do that. In 2008, he lost half of everything he ever worked hard for. My mom's side of the family migrated here from the Philippines. They came here with nothing. My grandparents worked day and night to send all 6 of their children to college. And because they were told, go to school, get a good job, get a good career, and one day you'll be successful. They're nurses, they're engineers, they're PhDs in psychology, they're physicians. They did what they were supposed to do. My mom being the youngest of 6, all of them went to school. All of them have degrees. Guess what? None of them ended up where they were supposed to be. Here I am thinking to myself, what there's something wrong with this picture. I work in the bank. My dad never knew about how money worked. His parents never knew about how money worked, right? They're a hardworking family. My dad's side of the family, they migrated here from Russia. They came here for more opportunity and to live the American dream, and they worked hard their entire life. But that legacy of what they knew about money was passed down to them, and that was passed down to us. People have no idea how money works. So I'm sitting through this presentation as we're going through this stuff, these concepts that Jessica is talking about, right? How Chante says, how she tried to have help for her family. And we think there's so many families and so many people that need help. I never learned about the rule of 72 at the bank. No one was sitting there knocking on my dad's door saying, sir, let me teach you how to be financially independent. Let me show you how to work, how to protect what you've worked 37 years for. Nobody knocked on my grandparents' door and said, hey, but what if they would have? See, we have a big mission. We have a big crusade. We have a lot of people that need a lot of help. And more than ever in our country, as we speak right now, people need to know about how money works. When I worked at the bank, I walked away from banking. And the reason I walked away from banking was this. I no longer believed in what I was doing. The higher I climbed up that corporate ladder, the less I believed in it. And I started saying to myself, why is it that if you have $1 million or more with the bank, you receive an entirely different financial education than if you come from a hardworking family just like my own. See, this just isn't a company. This isn't products. This isn't services. These are families' lives. These are families just like my own, just like so many people that we know out there that are not receiving the financial help. I saw an incredible mission. I saw an incredible crusade. I saw a way to give back to the community, but I also saw a way and I saw an opportunity to be able to do and accomplish some of the things that we've always wanted to accomplish. Not just for us, but for so many people here. We have 60,000 people that are a part. We're one of the 10 largest companies now in the entire world. The Forbes magazine and all of these different have said to us, you are the future of financial products and services. But I saw a way of giving people opportunity where you are not able to do that. People like Jessica says, I want to be that single mom that stays with my kids and is there for them because I need to be mom. I need to be dad. I need to put food on the table, a roof over the head. Thousands of people come here for different reasons, and timing is everything. Our industry right now isn't growing. Our industry is exploding. Since COVID happened, you know how many businesses have shut down and how many people have become unemployed? Our business is essential work. Our business has grown over 50% since COVID has happened. Our company has already paid out over $900 million to average ordinary families just like my own. We are a big company, one of the biggest in the entire world, but they give us ownership in what we create. They give us that family feel. That Chante, none of these people on this call, nobody works for me. They work with me. Everything that they work hard for here, they create for themselves and they create for their family. I've never seen a system or a business or an opportunity that can change so many people's lives with such a great mission. Let's talk about how the timing of industries are changing. I want you guys to know business is no longer the same. It's different nowadays. They say if you do not do business online, 30% of businesses within the next 5 years, you're going to be completely out of business. You have robots who are taking over. You have industries that are changing that are not the same. And people are looking for opportunity and ways to position themselves in front of industries where they can make sure that their families are okay. And this is the opportunity in the financial industry. Just how Starbucks did it in coffee, just how Amazon has done it in the retail industry, right? Just how Uber and Lyft have taken over the transportation industry. Our company is revolutionizing the biggest industry out there, which is the financial industry. We're the number one broker dealer for women. We've created the most amount of 6- and 7-figure women income earners of any industry out there. We've created the most 6- and 7-figure income earners over the last 3, 5, and 10 years. And people are coming to this industry because they understand now. They say, I want to be a part of how big is this industry? This is a $110 trillion industry. It's bigger than retail. It's bigger than technology. It's bigger than real estate. It's bigger than all of them combined. That's how big this industry is. But what do we need? We don't need salespeople. We need good people. We need people like Chante who say, man, I see how I can help you. We need people like Stephanie Boone, right? We need good people. We don't want people who are going to go out and sell people things. And you can make a lot of money here. And that's why people come. But we want people who are going to help people and take care of them. The baby boomers are all retiring. They need help. There's trillions of dollars that are transferring hands right now. People need to know what to do with their money. The biggest retirement boom is happening right now as we speak. And that's created a lot of opportunity. Generation X and the millennials, the kids of the boomers and the grandkids, they're looking at the prior two generations saying, hey, we got to do something different. We can't go to work for 40 years, for 40 hours a week, for 40 years and retire with a pension and be okay anymore. That's a thing of the past. That doesn't exist anymore for folks. People understand now that they have to do something different. Well, where does that opportunity lie? This is the biggest industry with a system, with coaching, with all of the stuff necessary for people to succeed. Let's go to these next concepts here. What are we looking for? We're not looking for people with experience. You can start here with everyone that's on this call doesn't have experience here. What they have is they have a good heart and they want to help people. You can start on a part-time basis. You have no time clock. You have unlimited earning potential. Think about taking your time and having control of it, and taking your income and having control of it. Think about being able to be in a position where all you need is a laptop and you can work from anywhere. I've been traveling across the United States. We've traveled almost 3 entire months of this year has gone to us just traveling across the United States, and you can work from anywhere and have that type of freedom to be with your family, but to create something powerful that you own that you can pass down, right? Mentorship, business modeling. All of the individuals that spoke on this call 7 years ago, I had no idea how my wife and I would impact people. We were the people on the call. We were the people in the presentation saying, man, would someone coach us? Would someone teach us? Would someone mentor us? And as a result of a system and us following that system, being coachable and teachable, doing the right things and being a good person, we figured out, man, we can be rewarded here. And the reward is we help families. What better place to be able to do that? We have strength on our side. All of those big companies, there's no mistake. Those are billion-dollar companies. They've done their research. We're owned by Aegon. Let me just explain a little bit. Jessica talked about it. Aegon's one of the 10 largest companies in the world. They own over 65 different companies. And all of the companies that they own, many of them are on the Fortune 500 list. These are all big, multi-billion dollar companies. Throughout the pandemic, Aegon says to us, how is it that all of the other companies are struggling and your company is growing by 50%? I want you guys just to think about that. And in this timing, in this era, with what's taking place, we're looking for people who understand that vision. We're not looking to work with everybody. We're looking to work with certain individuals. This isn't something where you raise your hand and you just get to join. We hand select who we work with. And the number one quality skill that you need to be a good person. Let's go to these next these next slides here. You have senior marketing director. That's a entry-level supervisorial type of position within our company. The average is 64,000. The highest is over $1 million. Let me just kind of throw this out there because numbers speak for themselves. We've created over 300 six-figure income earners this year alone. Through a pandemic, through COVID, through everything that's happened, we've created over 300. We're going to pay out over $1 billion in commissions, renewals, trails to families who are a part of the company, who are serving people in their communities, right? That's incredible. So someone who comes here on a part-time basis, my wife just wanted to make an extra, so, if I could just make an extra $2,000 a month, do you know what that does for me and my 2 girls? Like, think about money comes in, money goes out. I've shown you what would an extra $2,000 to $4,000 a month do for you? What would that do for your family on a part-time basis through a Zoom type of presentation? This is a licensed professional career. This isn't a multi-level marketing. This isn't a direct marketing type of deal, whatever. This is a licensed professional career. You have to have a clean background. You have to have be able to pass a test with 60%, which isn't a big deal. So there are some requirements, and we do an interview on our end to make sure that there's an equal opportunity and that there's a fit. You're a good fit for us and we're a good fit for you. We're looking for the right people who understand what's taking place. If you're someone who wants to help people take your incoming time into your control, then we may have an opportunity to be able to work together. As you go to this next slide here, there's some options that are going to come up. And I want to thank Chante because this is going to reach so many people, and so many people are going to be able to hear your story and hear your message and to know that there's hope for their families. I want to thank Stephanie, for always being such a crusader and for having people just in her heart and always putting and thinking about people first. And these are the type of people that represent, not just here within our team, but throughout our company, with just the thousands of people, the quality and caliber of individuals, the network of people that you get to be around and associate with is absolutely life-changing. Selfless people like Jessica and Shannon and Felipe, who countlessly just give their time, effort, and energy to help benefit other people and to help coach them and mentor them and train them and guide them along. And it's empowering, and it's so awesome to be a part of a company that's doing so much for people. There's going to be a poll that's going to come up here very soon in just a couple minutes, and it's going to go over some options here. You know, I would like to explore life insurance options. There's no obligation to anything. This is all complimentary, but your future is too big of a deal for you to leave up to chance and to not at least understand and know what your options are ahead of time. Just know what your options are, get the education. I would like to schedule a financial needs analysis. That's that financial roadmap and game plan. I recommend everybody has it done. At Wells Fargo, we did this. We crossed our fingers, we closed our eyes, and we hoped everything was going to be okay. We talked to our people around the lunchroom. Hey, what do you have? And people have and keep their plans, but they never know what their options are and never compare it. Can you imagine doing something for 40 years, looking back on it and saying, oh my gosh, the last 40 years could have been completely different. I wish I would have known what my options were. I'd like to explore a business opportunity. We schedule our business opportunities. There's an interview and we answer questions. This was a general overview. Some of you may have specific questions and we go over those on a one-on-one basis that we do through a Zoom presentation. Or I have someone who may need your help. There's a lot of people out there. Maybe this isn't for you. That's completely fine. But there's people out there who need opportunity. They're looking to earn additional income. And there's also people out there who want to be educated and understand what their options are. So we thank you for joining our presentation today. We thank you for being with us and spending your most valuable time. Wherever you guys are joining us from, I hope that you're in good health and that your families are okay during these times. But I'll leave you with this. This is the land of the free and this is the home of the brave, but we need more free people and we need more brave people. And it takes people just like you that go out there and make a difference. God bless you guys. Have an incredible weekend. Much love to you. Thank you all for everything that you do. Truly an honor and blessing to speak on this call today. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Josh and Jessica, Stephanie. Thank you.
Hey, you ladies and gentlemen, 준비가 됐다면 부르게, yeah. 다 녀석들과는 다르게, 내 스타일로, 내 스타일로, 밤새 일했지 every day. 네가 클럽에서 놀래, yeah. 잘 몰랐지만 그런데.
If you have joined us as a guest this afternoon, and if you could please fill out the poll, we would be greatly appreciative of your feedback. Please make sure to reach out to the individual who invited you today. We're going to be closing the meeting shortly. I'll give us about another minute before I close the poll, but if you could participate in that, it would be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
그럼 난 6포가 좋으니까 6포 세대 언론과 어른들의 의지가 없다면 우리 쌍초식처럼 내려 해보기도 전에 죽여 enemy 벌써부터 고개 숙여 받아 energy 절대로 포기 you know you're not lonely no one is 병은 나보다 예뻐 Can I get a little bit of hope? 삼대 청춘이 get walk go 밤새 일했지 every day 네가 클럽에서 놀게 yeah 다 녀석들과 다르게
Thank you for joining us today for our installment of our business presentation plan, we want to make sure that you reach out immediately to Chante or Stephanie or Jessica, whoever was the individual who invited you today. We're excited to be able to share this with you. We're gonna be closing the meeting now though, so we're done. Looking forward to sharing with you guys in the future.